One of my big draws was, I will pay you $1,000 cash if you can tie me up with rope and I can't get out. And that brings out a lot of people. And one of the things that we've learned over the years was, if it's possible, meet these people before the show to kind of get a sense on what they are, where their mind is. Well, my ex comes up and she goes, Mike, she goes, this guy is like a real trip and he wants to tie you up. She goes, stay away from this guy because he's really weird. And I go, what do you mean really weird? She goes, like, he's really weird, like strange. I go, stranger than me? She goes, it's close, but he's like bizarre. I go, this is the kind of guy I want to know because I want to use him on my show. So I go up to the guy and I go, hey, I'm Michael Griffin. I understand you want to tie me up with rope? And he goes, I like rope. I go, ooh, okay, check please. So I'm asking him some more questions because, again, he's just odd enough that I think he might be great on stage, but I also need to make sure he's not odd enough that he really wants to hurt me or has like tools, whatever. So he and I are just making some small talk, and I eventually ask him, I go, have you ever tied up somebody? And again, these are just questions I just want to ask. And he goes, oh yes, I like to tie up people. So I'm going, okay. So we're going some more questions, and then just facetiously I asked the guy, so did you bring your own rope? Because nobody ever brings their own rope. So he goes, yes, I have my own rope. I'm going, holy crap. All right, so this is the guy I got to use. So we get to the part of the show. We're in the mall. There's maybe 1,000 people, maybe a couple hundred, 1,200 people, whatever. I think it was like 1,000 folks or whatever. Anyway, the mall manager later on told us it was totally packed, but I think it was like 1,000 folks. But I introduced this guy, I can't remember his name, but I introduced him as my guest for the special rope challenge. And so we get to the point where I say, you have the rope, whatever, do with me what you will. So all of a sudden, he tells me to get down on the stage. So I'm laying down on the stage. He throws the rope down around my neck, tells me to lift up my head, pulls the other part of the rope up around, and he puts his foot like on the back of my neck and like yanks the rope up. I mean, this guy knew exactly what he was going to do. And most of the time, people don't know what they're going to do with you on a rope unless they've really practiced it out. I was on America's Got Talent, and I was not going to do a rope escape. But at the last minute, the producer goes, hey, Mike, listen, I want to get Howard Stern up there. I want him to do something with rope. Can he tie you up? I go, well, we weren't preparing for that. And he goes, yeah, but it'll be great. I go, well, here's the rub. If somebody doesn't know how to tie you up with rope, it looks stupid. And I spend most of the show trying to keep the darn rope on me. He goes, I don't care. He goes, you're a funny guy. I need to get Howard on stage. Play with it. So anyway, because of that, and it was not a good rope tie, first time in my life I ever got booed publicly. But the trade-off I got with Howard Stern and America's Got Talent was I may be the only man who can publicly admit to being tied up with rope by Howard Stern. So anyway, getting back to this guy, the guy knew exactly what he wanted to do. He took all the slack out of the rope. He did everything. This guy knew what he wanted to do. He's done it a million times before because he was very well rehearsed. So here's where it got really weird. I'm face down and I'm going, this guy knows what he's doing. Well, I look down and here in my peripheral vision, I see two sets of feet walking by me on stage. And then I realize, because I'm looking at their pants too, that are down by their shoes, I'm realizing these are the cops, these are the sheriffs. They shouldn't be up on stage at this point. They're a special part later on in the show. So I go, okay, maybe my ex just brought him up to make some extra drama. I don't know, I just work here. So I'm getting tied up. And again, what was weird on this guy's rope tie is not only did he know what he was doing, but it was unusual for me to start feeling like I was passing out that quick. Normally that doesn't happen that quick. on occasion we pass out, just because of the nature of the beast. These are challenges. These aren't just little simple magic tricks. Sometimes the people want to hurt you, and you've got to be willing to put up with it. You're like Evel Knievel. You go there, you tell the folks what you're going to do, and against the odds, you do what you're going to do. It's not a place for wimps. But anyway, this guy just beat the crap out of me. I see the sheriff's feet, and then I remember asking the audience, does anybody know how long it took him to tie me up? I don't remember what they said, but I do remember telling them that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out or not. Typically, I try to get out in less time than it took them to tie me up with rope, but I said, I don't remember. I think I told them, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out or not, but if you'll give me some extra time, I'll try my best. And I remember like some folks applauding or whatever, but then I kind of like remember like being real sleepy, like maybe passing out. I think I did pass out for a few minutes. And I remember having a weird dream, and I thought it was my grandma saying, "Go, Mike, go." But it wasn't. It was some lady in the audience crying, and she was saying, "Go, Mike, go." But for some reason, I thought it was my grandma. But I guess I snapped back to it. And I remember I could not feel my wrists at all. My wrists are behind me. I'm on the ground. I can't even breathe. And again, I'm feeling lightheaded again. But I'm remembering like I did something where I rolled over and I had to use part of the stage, like the edge of the stage or whatever, to help with the ropes around my wrists. I finally got out of them. I finally got out of the damn thing. And I remember the place just going nuts. But what was weird is the cop, not both cops, but the one cop was all up in my face. He was asking me questions like, how do you know this guy? Have you worked with this guy before? Where'd this guy go? And I go, whoa. I don't know the guy from anything. What do you mean, where did he go? The guy wasn't there. Usually the people stick around. Turns out he had left, and that's why the other cop, or the other sheriff, had gone after him because they wanted to ask him some questions. So I'm going, whoa, I don't know the guy from anything. The sheriff got really close into my face, and he pulls into my ear. I'm going, what's going on? And he's going, a couple years ago, there were three co-eds that were found tied up, the same exact way you were tied up in the trunks of cars. We had to rescue their bodies or whatever. I'm going, what? He goes, that's why we're asking you these questions, because we need to know this guy. So this freaked me and my ex out. And we kind of cut the show short because it was really just weird. It was wrong. And so we cut the show short. We had one more show later that weekend, which we did. But then we got out of town and we headed up home, because that was I think it was like the last show or something on that tour. But we finally get home and we were still freaked out about it. And about a month later, we get a call from the sheriff's department. And the sheriff says, listen, he goes, it's like one of those old Scooby-Doo cartoons. He goes, the guy was brought out because of your challenge. He says, your challenge brought him out, and he had to get his jollies. He had to return to the scene of the crime. He had to show exactly what he does, everything. He goes, we got him. He goes, and we questioned him for, hours. He goes, we're 100% sure it's the same guy. He's in jail now. But it's all because of your challenge, coming into that mall, offering that rope challenge, that we caught the guy that we believe is the murderer of those three co-eds earlier, a couple years ago. He goes, so, because of your rope escape challenge or whatever, he goes, you helped catch the murderer. So we kind of go, whoa, that was really weird. So anyway, that's the story of how I helped catch a murderer with rope. So this is going to be a new series.